I'm Annette Story from Inglewood, Colorado. I'm here because of corrupt CFIs in Colorado and corrupt family court systems. I had money extorted from me years ago on my son Joseph's case, where a CFI sold my child to the highest bidder. I had plenty of evidence against my former husband for abuse by a school principal that my son reported to, reports to social services, reports to police, many things that the court chose to ignore completely. The reason was my CFI was bought off by my former husband. In Colorado, it's been my experience as I fought through the legislature to get control of these people and get them to have someone to answer to, and now all licensed clinical social workers are answerable to DORA if they act in the capacity of CFI. And before that, in my time, they had full court immunity. So I have emails here extorting money from me by my CFI, where he actually says that if I don't pay him another retainer, he will go to the court and recommend custody of my son Joe to his abusive father. He promised me in the beginning that he would do this for a $1,500 retainer fee, and that he worked very quickly, so I wasn't to worry. I would probably get some money back. $5,000 later, I shut him off, and refusing to pay any further. I later learned through my attorney's paralegal of her corruption. Also, my attorney was working with the CFI because they both believed that my father had money and would pay them off. My whole case was corrupt. The only way we got around it was I went pro se. I began to represent myself in court. I threatened my former husband that if he did not drop everything and stop the abuse and stop the visitations, that I would bring Joe into court myself and put him on the stand and have him tell of the abuse. And that I would also put his 4 other stepchildren on the stand, who were, some of them grown at the time, to tell the abuse. My ex dropped everything at that point because he didn't want to be found out, and I also threatened that I would have social services waiting in the courtroom after the 5 children testified. I was told over and over by this corrupt CFI, one time $1,500, 2 more times $2,500, and it just went on, and I refused to pay. Had I not gone pro se, I think my attorney would have drug it on for another $30,000 to $50,000. Like I said, we fought hard for the Sunset Bill in Colorado, which regulates these people, and thank God they no longer have full court immunity. There needs to be more done, and that's why I'm happy to be in this movie. As I work as a legal investigator, I've seen much corruption. I do mostly the family court end, and it just continues. Parents are treated so unfairly. I've interviewed children that are dying to be with mom, and they won't let them visit. In one of my cases, the stepmother practices witchcraft and Satanism. The children are scared to death. They don't want to live with her and their father, and their mother is allowed a 6-hour visit every Sunday is all. These children are 14 and 16 years old, and that's my other cause. If my son Joe had had a voice in the court, he wouldn't have had to suffer the 5 years that he had to suffer.